Morgan is on the phone. She wants to call this guy named Graham. They apparently have been gym buddies for a little while. She finally asked him out. Unfortunately, he didn't have a car, so he didn't want to go out with her, but she said, let's go car shopping. It'll be fun. And that's how they spent their day together. She says that everything went well, except for one kind of awkward moment where she pretended that the two were married to the car salesman. Yeah. And he seemed a little weirded out by that, but other than that, everything seemed cool. And now they've talked a little bit, but it's obvious that he's avoiding her. Morgan, are you ready to give him a call and find out if he is actually avoiding you?
Yes, I am ready.
All right. Anything else you can think of that might have caused him to not want to see you again?
No, everything was really great. It was really natural and fun. And, I was thinking about it, and that was pretty harmless. He wasn't upset. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Okay. And you haven't seen him at the gym at all?
No.
Right.
I will say, as someone who's dated everybody at my gym, if you get somebody to change their gym schedule, then you might have done
something wrong.
Yeah.
All right, Morgan, here we go. I'm going to dial his phone number right now, see if we can get him on the phone, okay?
Okay.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Graham, please?
This is Graham.
Graham, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Like the radio?
Yeah. Just like the radio. How you doing?
Fine.
I'm calling you because you recently went out on a date with one of our listeners and they've been trying to get a hold of you. You know who I'm talking about?
I think so.
Morgan?
Yeah.
Why aren't you calling Morgan back?
Yeah.
This is kind of weird. I don't feel like it's any of your business, really.
Well, it kind of is my business because Morgan actually asked me to call you and find out if you're avoiding her.
Well, I'm not.
You're not avoiding her?
I mean, I've been texting her and stuff, so I don't know.
Okay. But she says she's been trying to see if you'll go out on another date with her, and you've been very unresponsive, and then she also hasn't seen you at the gym. So she's confused and feels like you don't want to see her again. That's not true?
I mean, I want to see her again for sure. It's just I'm in a bit of a situation right now that just prevents me from pursuing it at the moment.
Okay. Is it the car situation?
She told you about my car situation?
Yeah, she just told us that she asked you out on a date at the gym, and you said you couldn't go out because you didn't have a car at the time, it was in the shop, and so you went car shopping together.
Which sounds like a fun date.
Yeah. That's why I'm asking, is it because you don't have a car?
Well, all right. So between you and me, I do have a car. It's not that.
So you lied about the car?
Well, I didn't. Well, I kind of had to because you guys, if you keep this between us, the deal is that at the moment I'm kind of locationally up in the air.
Are you living in your car?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Hey, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
I'm temporarily staying in my car because I had a really bogus job 4 months ago. So I quit and I couldn't find anything right away, and then rent was due and I had to, leave my spot. And so it basically came down to the fact that it was I want to go on a date with Morgan, but literally everything I own is in my car. So it's kind of weird to show up and be like, hey, welcome to my home.
Okay, so you haven't been avoiding Morgan because you don't want to see her. You've been avoiding her because the situation that you're in right now doesn't feel ideal to be dating somebody and might not be that attractive to her.
Exactly, yeah.
And I'm guessing that's why you're not at the gym, is because you can't afford the membership right now.
Well, the gym is actually the one thing that I do have because I use it to shower and make myself presentable, and I just know when Morgan goes, so I try to avoid those times.
Do you feel like she's not going to want to see you if she found this information out? She seems like she's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know she's really nice. She's definitely one of the coolest people I've met in a really long time, but I just I don't want to it up. So
I don't think you have to worry too much. I dated a guy that lived in his car. Didn't end well, but I still dated him.
Yeah, my situation's going to change, and when it does, then I'm going to really pursue this. She's a great girl, and I just don't want to start off on a bad foot.
Well, then what can I tell her then? because she had us call you because she wanted to find out if you're avoiding her. If I just tell her, hey, he's not avoiding you, just trust me, just hang out for a little while and he'll be back, that's going to sound kind of weird. Don't you think you should just be honest with her and see what she says?
I mean, I guess. I don't know, but I'd rather, tell her myself,
Perfect. I can actually make that happen for you, Graham, because she's actually on the other line listening.
Serious?
Yeah.
I gotta go, you guys.
Hold up a second, Graham. We just need 1 second with you. Graham?
Hello?
Morgan?
Wait, I'm so confused about what just happened.
I'm pretty sure he hung up on us.
Ugh.
I mean, I'm guessing he's probably embarrassed or something. I want to get him back on the phone, though, because I want you guys to talk.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to talk to him about it.
Did you know that he lived in his car?
No, I mean, but to be fair, I only see him at the gym, so...
Yeah.
Does it bother you?
I have questions about it for sure.
All right, I'm going to try to get him back on the phone, see if we can talk to him, okay?
Okay.
Hello?
Graham?
Yeah, sorry. I thought I had a job offer calling on the other line, but it wasn't.
Oh, all right, that sucks. Well, I was in the middle of telling you that Morgan was on the phone and wanted to talk to you. Morgan?
Hello.
Hey, Morgan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay, I guess.
So, I had no idea.
Yeah, well, that was kind of the point. I was hoping it would stay that way, but...
Graham, you could have told me you're living out of your car. I would have understood.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't want to, mess anything up before we even, got started with anything, I don't know. I just wanted to be able to, do nice things and, take you places and, start off on the right foot rather than have it be, some kind of weird thing that, we have to, overcome together right at the beginning.
That's totally understandable. So do you want to get a job? Are you looking for a job? What's your deal?
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking every day. It's that's my job right now is getting a job. It's just not that easy right now. And I'm, if you could just give me 2 more weeks, I'm going to have something by then. I have a couple of leads coming through right now, and I'll be back on my feet then. And I don't know. I just hate to ruin this before anything even had the chance to happen.
Yeah, but Graham, now that you guys got this out of the way, I will pay for you guys to go on a second date. Yeah. Would you? I mean, you might as well go out with Morgan again, especially now that she knows what she knows, and you guys can talk a little more in depth about the situation.
Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah, I want to. I just hope she will.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, Graham, why do you have to wait 2 weeks until you get a job? I will pay for you guys to go on a second date.
I mean, free hot meal. Come on, Graham.
And then you guys can decide what you want to do about your situation when you go out. But would you like to go out with her?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Morgan, do you want to go out with Graham again?
Graham, I like you, and I would love to hear more about your situation, and I'm totally down to hang out with you and go on a date with you.
Oh, I like
That's
her.
Aw,
cute.
it's going to be so easy to get her back to your place, Graham.
I mean, that's awesome. I really didn't expect you to be that cool about it, and I'm just glad to hear that. It's a huge relief.
There you go.
Aw.
Successful second date update. We'll send you guys out again, and you can have a good time. Graham, I want to let you know it's your lucky day today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Because not only am I sending you out on a second date with Morgan, but I'm going to go ahead and adopt you as my own. You can come stay at my place if you'd like.
I think I'd rather stay in my car.
All right.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Today's second date update might have actually just changed somebody's life. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning. I'm moving 92.5. If you missed today's brand new second date update, this girl Morgan wanted us to call Graham because he'd been avoiding her. Turns out that Graham, when we got him on the phone, doesn't have a house. He's in between places right now because he quit his job and can't afford rent, so he's living in his car, and that's why he was avoiding her, because he was embarrassed of that.
It's
Cool.
tough.
At the end of it, she gave him a a second chance. She wanted to go with him again. She didn't.
So
She could look
cool.
past that. But I say that it could change his life because we're getting so many text messages in at 78592 with job opportunities for Graham, and that's what he was saying. He quit
amazing.
because he couldn't take his job anymore that he was doing because it was terrible. And so he's been looking for a new job, and he was going to try to find a job and then hopefully ask her out on a date when he could afford to take her out and could afford to have a place to take her back to. But everybody texting us at 78592 is offering Graham a job. I'm going to go ahead
So awesome.
and get all these together, give it to him, and then I'll leave it up to him to get in contact with you guys. But we really appreciate that.
You guys are awesome. We have the best listeners.
Yeah, like we joke around a lot and stuff, but when it comes to like semi-serious stuff like this is so.
Don't they know
refreshing.
that we're supposed to be all cold-hearted
Yeah,
here?
I
mean,
know.
come on, we're the feel-bad station.
This is not what we do. This is uncharted territory for us. It's really weird. Charitable things. Interesting. But yeah, thank you guys very much. I think Graham will obviously appreciate it, and hopefully he can get a job out of the deal, and the two of them can start a relationship, or at least go out and enjoy each other's company a little bit. But I will get all the job offers down. Keep them coming if you want to try to interview him for a job and you're interested in that. At 78592, I'll give it to him and see if he can get in contact with you, and we'll get an update. I'll stay in contact with Graham and see if we can find out if he actually gets a job out of the deal. And then if he does, I want 10% of whatever he's making because I helped him find that job.
Finder's
Kind of a finder's
fee,
fee.
right.
Look, we're charitable to a point, all right? I'm not an idiot.
Have limitations, all right?
Remember, if you want a second date update, all you have to do is email the show, Brooke and Jubal at Moving925. If you're just tuning in for the second date update, Nicole is on the phone. She wants us to call a guy named Travis today. They met at a party, agreed to go out, had a great date, went back to her place. She does have a kid. Paid the babysitter. They hung out for a little while, made out. He said that he wanted to go out again, even texted her saying, like, yeah, I'm real busy this week, but we should definitely go out, and then has not talked to her since. So she wants to call him today and find out why. And Nicole, I think I know why this guy isn't calling you back.
Okay, what do you think?
Well, talking to you, okay, you seem very put together, right? You got a kid, but you're still like doing okay. You know, everything seems, you seem like not a train wreck.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's the problem. Okay. I feel like he went out with you and he was hoping just for a hookup, and then he's like, oh man, she's actually like smart and she knows stuff, and now she's out of my league and I don't want to call her back.
Well, I mean, I guess I could take that as a compliment.
Yeah,
then.
you should. You should. I'm saying that from our normal second date updates that we do, you sound too good. And I think maybe that's the problem. He's like, yeah, she's too good for me and I don't want to call her back.
Well, I hope that's the reason.
All right. Well, I'm about to dial the phone number right now, get him on the phone, and see if we can find out why, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Hello?
Can I speak to Travis, please?
Yeah, this is Travis. Who's this?
Hey, Travis, how you doing? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
Fine.
Any idea why I might be calling you?
Honestly, no.
I'm calling you because you recently went out on a date with one of our listeners,
Okay.
and you're not calling her back, so she emailed us to see if we could get you on the phone and ask why.
What?
I'll say it one more time for you. You recently went out on a date with somebody who listens to our show, okay?
Okay.
Okay, and you're not calling her back now, and she would really like to see you again,
Okay.
but since she can't get a hold of you, she asked us to do it and see if we can find out why you're not calling her back.
Okay.
Her name is Nicole. Do you remember going out with Nicole?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys met at a party and hung out back at her place?
Yeah.
Well, according to her, you've said that you want to hang out again, but you've told her that you're busy, and then you just kind of stopped talking to her. Is there any specific reason?
Well, yeah, I'd like to hang out with her again. I just haven't had time.
Okay, so your excuse about being busy, that's true. You really do want to see her again?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Then why? What?
That's not
All right,
the
so
right
you say
response.
that, but why haven't you contacted her at all?
Listen, I don't know what to tell you. You got me. I didn't call her back.
Okay.
You're right.
Can you tell us why?
Well, she's a mom. she's got a 5-year-old kid, and I'm not ready for anything like that.
Okay. Why'd you agree to go out with her in the first place then?
Well, I thought at first that maybe it could work out, but then, after the date, I realized that there's no way.
So you're saying after the date you realized it. Does that mean that something happened during the date to make you change your mind?
I don't know.
I think you do know, Travis.
It's a long pause.
Look, Travis, this is like something that we do for our listeners. They want to get better at dating, so they ask us to call people and find out why. So if there's anything that you're withholding from us, I'd appreciate it if you could just be honest with us, and then we'll tell her to help her out.
When we were hanging out at her place, it was just weird.
It was weird?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing. We talked to her. She said that she paid the babysitter. You guys hung out and made out a little bit. You didn't even have any interaction with her kid because she said you didn't even see the kid.
No, I didn't see the kid, but I knew the kid was just on the other side of that wall.
So just knowing...
What?
Just
There were stuffed animals all over the place and Barbie dolls.
okay.
Too much for me.
So you were cool with it until you got there and you're like, all right, I know there's a kid here. This just became real, and you didn't want to hang out with her again.
Well, it was more than that. I mean, things started progressing between us, physically. I just couldn't get it out of my head that the kid was right there.
So the whole time you're making out with her, you're thinking like, all right, it's going to go to the next level. The only thing that's in your head is a kid.
Yeah, exactly. And I tried to put it out of my mind. I tried to play through it, and I go under her shirt, and then I see her scar, and that was it.
What? So wait,
Say that again.
When we were kissing, I lifted up her shirt, and I saw she had a C-section scar.
A C-section scar.
Yeah.
So is this about the kid or about the scar?
That was just a reminder that she has a kid. There's no getting around it.
Okay.
Can I ask, what is it, though, about the kid? I don't get why you're so shocked by all this when you knew about it going in.
I don't want to be in a position where I have to play dad. I don't want to be making out with someone and have a kid walk in. I don't want anything to do with it.
It didn't seem to stop you at the time.
What?
Hi, Nicole here.
Hey, Travis, Nicole's actually on the other line.
Are you kidding me? She's been listening in this whole time?
Sure have. And I think it's interesting that you'll tell these guys, complete strangers, what's going on, but you won't even answer a text for me.
Well, Nicole, they were asking questions. Yes, I answered them, and I didn't answer your text. And what do you think is more uncomfortable?
I guess that's a good point, yeah.
I would think responding to a text is easier than having a conversation. I mean, it's not like I was asking you for an explanation in person. I just sent you a text.
What am I supposed to say to you? Your C-section scar freaked me out?
I don't think you have to go that far, Travis.
You could at least give me the courtesy of saying, hey, listen, this just isn't for me, instead of just, hey, I'd like to see you again, and then nothing.
Yeah.
Why say you want to go out again if you don't?
Hey, listen, this just isn't for me, okay? Lady with a baby isn't for me. All right? I'm sorry. I was trying to let you down easy by just ignoring your text. I thought you would get the clue, but this isn't for me.
Yeah, I don't think this is for me either.
Oh, that's a shame, because I was going to see if you guys wanted to go out again. I will pay for it.
Oh, will you? Yeah, why don't you go and get us 3 tickets to Disney on Ice?
Disney on Ice. All right.
That was a no.
So I guess neither one of you want to go out again.
No, definitely not. And you know what, Jubal? You're right. I'm way too put together for
See?
this guy.
Told you.
Called it.
All right. Well, Travis, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Okay. No more single mommies for you. Okay, Mark and Joel, now that you've had a song to think about it,
Gosh.
that you guys have both gone on a date with the same girl, different times, same location, same bar, everything else. We'll start with Joel. Joel, how are you feeling about things?
I don't feel very good, to be honest.
Because you were shocked by this. You had no idea Mark was on the phone.
I mean, I was just calling to see, what was going on because I really felt like I had a connection with somebody.
But you may still.
And
You could still.
Nah, probably
I don't think so.
Mark, what are you feeling like before we call Paige?
I'm kind of feeling, after thinking about it, I'm a little pissed off,
Yeah, I'd be too, man.
But she just went on dates.
I am a little pissed off.
Yeah, but she's like going on the same date with different guys and just insert here.
And then blew them both off.
Oh,
you know?
and she's making out with both of them.
Yeah, the problem is she's not getting back to
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys ready to call her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come
All right.
on.
So weird.
Let's go. I can't wait to hear what she says.
Oh, brother.
All right.
I love this girl already. I'll tell you that right now.
Of course you do, Brooke.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Paige, please?
Yeah, this is Paige.
Hey, Paige. This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. I'm moving 92.5. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. The reason that I'm calling you, are you familiar with our show?
I am, yeah.
Okay, have you heard the second date updates?
Uh-huh.
Somebody emailed us about you.
Ooh.
You recently went on a date with someone, and they liked you a lot, but you're not calling them back. Can you think of who that would be?
David?
I love you.
It is.
I love
It is not David, Paige.
you. You're amazing.
It's actually a guy named Joel. You remember Joel?
Yes.
That was not very convincing, Paige.
Do you remember going out with Joel?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, there's definitely been a few people because, Paige, we also got an email from Mark about you. We had two guys email us about you.
Oh,
It's okay, Paige. It's okay.
So
Really?
Yes, it is.
it's obvious that you're dating around, which is whatever. That's fine.
Yeah.
But why are you not calling anybody back?
I mean, what did their emails say? Did they?
Well, both of their emails said that they really liked going out with you and thought you were cool and you had a connection. They didn't get back to you, but now we find out like there's another chump named Dave out there that didn't email us. So are you just going out on a ton of dates and just
having a lot of fun, you know, just going and meeting people and.
So, can I ask, why do you take them all to the same place? I mean, the old spaghetti factory is fun, Paige, but I don't think it's like 3 times in a row fun.
There's a lot of great stuff there.
okay, Paige?
Oh, wow.
Come on.
I'm on your side here. Like, I think it's totally cool for girls to date, but you just got to give us the reason why you don't want to call these guys back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I go on a bunch of dates and then I write about it.
What? In your diary?
I have a blog.
Oh, you write a dating blog.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Oh, they each have an excerpt.
Okay, so you write a dating blog, so you just go out on dates with dudes and then log it there.
Yeah. I mean, like, I really want to do more journalistic stuff, and I think people are fascinating, so I just watching them and telling the world about them.
Are you invested at all in like the romantic part of it? Like, are you looking to actually meet a guy?
I feel like I'm more getting the information so that I could know what I want.
Or so that you can make some money
Hey.
by having people follow your blog. That's understandable. Hey, Paige, I do have to let you know that Joel and Mark are both on the phone right now.
Yeah. That's a
And
blog
heard
entry.
that basically you're using them to get followers on your blog.
Hey, Paige.
What's up, Paige?
Paige, I thought that we had a really good time, and it's not often that I get to go on a date with a girl that I really like, and I thought that we had something really special.
Okay, so you got something out of the date, too, so you're fine.
Is this Joel or Mark, first of all?
Identify
Please
yourselves.
clarify.
Joel.
Okay, Joel. All right.
Paige, do you feel like you're lying to these dudes?
Honestly, I feel like it would be lying if I went on, like, 3 dates, but I go on 1.
Okay.
But that's still one lie.
Like, you know what? This is some
do things like
self
bring people to apparently like the same restaurant
and
stuff, and I think that's kind of a lie.
Well, I mean, like, you never asked me. what's the purpose of this date?
Shouldn't it be assumed?
Usually people don't do that when they show up.
Shouldn't it be assumed?
Usually people don't do that when they show up. What is the purpose of tonight's festivities?
Oh my God.
Are we going to have one makeout session and you never call me back, or shall we spend the rest of our lives
Saying
together?
that I was clear with why I was there. You were clear with why you were there. They were different. That's fine.
It's not like you are having an honest date at all.
Joel sounds like a hurt
Yeah.
puppy.
Hey, Mark,
Yeah.
do you have anything to say to Paige?
Hey, Paige, how you doing? So nice to hear that I'm just like part of the experiment. That's cool, you
Did you
know?
learn anything?
Did you learn anything?
Wow.
Jeez.
Well, he hasn't read your blog, so he doesn't know what to learn yet.
That's true. I can send you the link. You probably learn a lot about yourself. I'll
Oh
be
my
honest.
God, you are such a.
Oh.
You really think you're something special, don't you?
I just read about my experiences, okay?
Yeah.
Paige, it's not like Mark and I don't
You have this like
have
self-righteous
like other
manner about
stuff
it, though.
to do. So like when we take time out, it's because we're investing in something.
Mark and Joel have now bonded.
You know, you're just like totally abusing our willingness to like engage with you.
Yeah, I mean, I call it bullshit, but yeah, that's cool too. I mean,
I just love that we've created like a best friendship between
Right.
Joel and Mark, and they're playing both sides of it.
Now, Joel and Mark are going to be going on dates together all the time.
One will be super sensitive, the other will
Yeah.
have the more aggressive angle.
Wingman.
Oh, man.
Paige, I would love to offer you a second date right now. We will pay for it. You just have to choose which guy you'd like to go out with.
What? You're
Yeah.
not going to choose both?
We will give you a second date if you'll go out with one of them again.
Come on, this would be such a good
Think about
vlog.
it. You could write about being called on the radio and then having to go out on a second date with the person who you just wrote about. You could call it back to your other blog, get some more hits on that. I'm helping you think business-minded here. Let's go on a second date, huh? Who do you want to choose?
That was quite a pitch.
Thanks.
Oh. I think I'd have to look back through my notes.
Oh my gosh.
God, that's not real dating.
She'd choose David.
Yeah, she's just thinking about David still. Come on, Paige. We will send you out on a second date. You just have to choose Mark or Joel. We'll pay for it.
I guess Mark. I don't know.
The angry one. Interesting.
Nice.
That's the angry one.
Mark,
Yeah.
did you want to go out on a second date with Paige? We'll pay for it.
no, sorry.
Touche.
You had your chance. You blew it.
You blew it.
Yeah.
At this point, I would like to offer Joel a date. Since Mark turned it down, Joel, would you like to go out with Paige?
Oh my
You're like
gosh.
pimping her out.
Yeah, I would actually.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I really like you, Paige, and like this is weird and I don't feel very good about it, but like I feel really good about you, and I think that beyond all of this,
Okay.
like
Thank you. No.
Oh, what?
Paige, you are
It's
brutal.
not gonna. No, that's okay. You can send someone else out with Joel. I'm good.
All right.
Oh, that's
Mark
so
and Joel, I would love to send you guys out on a date together. I'm not ending this until somebody's going out. Do you guys want to go out on a date, Mark and Joel?
Just
Bro
say
date?
yes, please.
We'll pay for it.
Whatever, man. I'll wing it.
Wingman.
Joel, Nick is on the phone with us. Today he wants us to call a girl named Christine that he met at a singles mixer. Their date included them going to an apple orchard, his family's apple orchard, and picking apples and, you know, having a good time. He said everything was cool until she seemed a little standoffish at the end. Nick, I think I know what your problem is.
What's up?
Too much too soon, I think. You know what I mean? Like, you never want to show a chick your apples that early. You know? Like, you got to wait before you show her your apples. You know what I mean?
Is that like third date material?
I always wait till a third date before I let anybody see my apples. And even then, it's with a picture text, not actually in person. But what I mean by too much too soon, though, I think taking her, like, in a couple-hour drive to your family's orchard to pick apples with your family and stuff might be a little too much for a first date. So maybe she just thought you were too serious too quick, or you were going to get too serious. You know what I mean?
And I thought about that, but my I don't know, man. Like my family's it's just my grandpa and like my cousins and stuff.
And you told her that's what you guys were going to do. It wasn't a surprise that day, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
So she agreed to it. I don't know.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to call her right now, see if we can get her on the phone and find out if something went wrong, okay?
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, can I speak to Christine, please?
Yeah, this is her.
Hey, Christine, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning. How are you?
I'm good. Are you sure you have the right number?
I'm pretty sure I have the right number. Did you recently go out with a guy named Nick?
Yeah.
Then this is the Christine that I want to talk to.
Okay. What's going on?
I'm calling you because Nick emailed us to see if we could get you on the phone and ask why you're not calling him back.
What?
It's a segment we do on our show called The Second Date Update. Nick said he liked you a lot. He enjoyed your date. He thought you guys clicked very well, but apparently he's been trying to get a hold of you and you're kind of avoiding him and you wanted to see if he did something wrong.
So you want me to tell you about, like, my personal, like, what happened on a date?
I don't necessarily need you to get into your personal stuff if you're uncomfortable with that, but I would like to know if there's a particular reason that you're not calling Nick back.
I'm so confused about what's going on. I'm at work right now.
Okay.
It was a good date.
Sorry.
That's all I have to say.
So you had fun on the date?
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, then are you planning on calling him back because he'd like to know?
I mean, probably not.
And why is that? I know you're at work, and I'll get you off the phone quickly here. I appreciate you staying on with us and being honest. But if he was such a great guy and you enjoyed the date, why don't you want to see him again?
It was just kind of a weird thing that happened on our date, and I don't know if I want to talk about it, and maybe we just go our separate ways and everything's happier and easier.
Do you think talking about it could at least help Nick in the future? You might not want to see him again, but with other girls that he goes out with?
Like constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just maybe wouldn't take another girl to the apple orchard.
So that was really bad, like the whole experience at the apple orchard?
I mean, I just had a weird, like encounter with his grandfather.
You had a weird encounter with his grandfather?
Yes.
How so?
I mean, can we just tell him that and then go on our merry way?
I don't know. I mean, is his grandpa just a weird dude? Do you think Nick would know that?
So Nick had to take a call, and maybe I'm reading it weird. I don't know. But then I was left alone with his grandfather, and he just said some kind of inappropriate things. I just felt uncomfortable.
His grandpa's a pervert. Am I reading into that? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I don't care how old a guy is, but if he's like, come with me and I'll show you my apple press, it's just...
Maybe he was literally talking about his apple press.
Yeah, do you know for sure that he was being an old perv? Or was he legitimately talking about an apple press and you took it the wrong way?
No, he said it and winked at me.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, little lady. You know you're hanging out with my grandson, but let me show you how a real man presses apples.
And we're sure that he didn't have like something in his eye or anything like that.
No, because like he put his hand on my leg and kind of like caressed my knee. And I wasn't reading into it because it just was super uncomfortable, and he didn't need to do that.
All right, I think as a person, you can tell when somebody's starting to like encroach on
Yeah.
your personal space and they're getting a little too handsy, and I guess that's what he was doing. Christine, thank you for being honest. I will let Nick know that his grandpa is a pervert and not to take girls around him anymore. Or you can tell him yourself because Nick's actually on the phone.
What?
Christine? Hey, it's Nick.
Hey, I'm super sorry about what I just said. I just was put in a super uncomfortable situation, and I mean, I don't want to embarrass you, but it was just weird.
But how much are you reading into this? Like, first of all, why didn't you tell me? Like, why didn't you tell
I'm
me when
gonna
I
be in the
dropped you
car
off?
and say, your grandpa hit on me.
But then we could have worked it out. I could have told you, because that's just Pop. You know, that's what he does. I mean,
You would have worked it out, and he would have just said, "Oh, that's fine. It's what he says." And then if we go on another date and you leave me alone with again, I mean, it started with a leg thing, and I don't want it to go any further.
And I understand that. I get that. It's just he's 82 years old, so sometimes he doesn't. Like he's older, so he doesn't think about these things. And I mean,
that's a little inappropriate. I mean, I'm sorry that I said those things about him, but like, what if I took you to like volunteer at a senior citizen center and some lady was like touching you uncomfortably? I don't think that would go over well, and I wouldn't just brush it off.
is this lady your grandma that you would like? Because I would tell you if it was someone you're related to, if it was a random person.
I mean, I just think it's easier if we go our separate ways. I don't want to have to be put in that situation ever again.
Don't you feel like you're blaming him for something that he didn't do?
I mean, I'm not blaming him. I just don't ever want to be in that situation again.
Well, and look, and I get that. Look, here's the deal. I feel like we had a really good connection. I don't know. It's just I don't want to give up on that. And I know that if I just talk to my grandpa and tell him he needs to just cool it and not be like that, just don't be so touchy-feely and just watch what he says, then I don't see why there would be a problem.
Nick, has your grandpa ever hit on any of your dates before?
No, I mean, not
that you know
I had
of.
the same girlfriend for 2 years. I mean, why have the same girlfriend for 2 years? I mean, she didn't hang out with him too much, but she never said anything.
Maybe that's why she left you, for Gramps, and you don't know it. Christine, would you go out with Nick again? We'll pay for a second date. Come on. Nick would love to see you again. I'm sure you can work out the grandpa situation. Look, he's an old guy, and old guys are creeps, all right? All of them, every single one. Every single old guy out there is a pervy creep. I can't wait to be one day.
Yeah.
So can you just maybe go out with Nick again and see if you guys can hang out and like each other and get past his grandpa hitting on you? I'm sure it can get better.
I just can't be around him ever again, and I don't know if there's any point in even going out on a second date if, I mean, it leads to anything else. I mean, there'll be weddings and babies, and I just don't want his grandpa around, and I don't want to put Nick in a bad spot.
You know how many of your bridesmaids he could hit on, though, if you guys are getting married?
Oh, so my friends
I just
can
want to do
be
a
subject
second
to
date.
it?
I'm not planning for a wedding.
Yeah.
Well, I am. I mean, I'm not getting younger. I don't want to waste my time.
So you're thinking about guys that you go out with, you're thinking about a future, and you don't see a future with Nick because his grandpa is a creepy old man.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Wow.
Well, Christine, thank you very much for your time. Nick, I'm sorry, no second date for you, man.
Well, thanks, guys.
But Christine, Tommy is on the phone with us. He wants us to call a girl named Tawny today. They went on a bigger and better date. If you don't know what that is, Tommy basically started off with a dollar bill, took her around town for like 2 hours, seeing what they could trade things for. Like they'd go into business and be like, hey, I got this dollar bill. What can I trade you for that's bigger and better? And then they would just do that. And he's not sure if the date really worked very well because the girl did seem kind of awkward at the end of it. We know that Brooke has been pretty critical of the bigger and better date. I'm curious to see what Lydia thinks, though. Lydia, would you want to do this date?
I think it's creative. He put thought into it, which we always complain that guys don't put enough thought into things.
That's true.
I think just maybe she got too into it. She traded up for a bigger and better guy.
You think that's what could have happened, Tommy?
Maybe.
Oh, God, I hope not.
All right, Tommy, we're about to get Tawny on the phone and see if it was your bigger and better date that turned her off or if there's another reason that she's not calling you back.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see what she has to say because I've never, ever dated a girl like this. So I thought it was awesome. I just want to know what she thought.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll dial her phone number right now, see if we can get her on the phone. Here we go.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Tawny, please?
This is she.
Hey, Tawny, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
I'm sorry, who?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning, the radio show.
Oh, okay. I don't think I know.
Oh, okay. Well, nice to meet you. I host a radio show on Moving 92.5. I'm calling you today because one of our listeners actually emailed us about you. His name is Tommy. And he said that he recently met you at Starbucks, and you guys went out on a date. And he went a little out of the box and did something that he calls a bigger and better date.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Well, Tommy wanted me to call you today because he wanted to see if he screwed up on that date or if there was a reason that you're not calling him back, because I know that he's tried to text you a few times and he's gotten no response.
Okay, he wants to know why I'm not texting him back?
Yep. So he asked us if we could get you on the phone.
He emailed you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So what'd you think of the bigger and better date idea that he did?
It was certainly different than what I'm used to.
Did you enjoy it?
No.
I don't blame you.
That was a nice little pause there before. Okay, so is that why you're not calling him back then?
It was really weird and just like I said, not what I'm used to. He's not like the guys I'm used to.
I mean, but is that necessarily a bad thing? It's good to expand your horizons, try different things.
Well, that's what I thought.
How is he not what you're used to? What are you used to?
Honestly, I'm used to being taken out on like a very classy date with really classy guys. I mean, my last boyfriend owned a gym, so I'm used to a guy that takes me places and treats me well. And we were like homeless people for the day. Right?
Do you mean like you date dudes with money is what you're saying?
I mean, at least guys that take me out on real dates. This didn't even feel like a date. It was just, we were like hobos running around like begging for money.
Oh, Tawny.
I think I'd feel that way too. And I'm not like super into money. Yeah. What was the worst part of it?
I said to him, like, I made it clear that I don't really do this. And he made me do it at one point for this plate with pandas on it.
Yeah, he told us about that. He said he was actually very impressed that you were able to get that plate.
Big score.
Yeah. I don't want to hurt him, It's just being honest. That's how I feel, and I just feel like I deserve better.
Hey, Tawny, wouldn't you like to talk to Tommy and just tell him that date was kind of weird and he shouldn't do that again? Maybe some, like, constructive criticism?
No, I mean, like, I think he should get the picture by me not responding.
Okay, well, he isn't getting that picture.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you that he's on the phone and been listening. So you've already kind of told him.
He's on the phone?
Yeah.
Look, I feel like you didn't really try on the date. It's like you didn't really like try. So like, how can you tell if it was really? How can you tell if it was really fun if you didn't really actually give it your all? I kind of felt like I was like pulling you up the whole time. I think we could have had a fun time and actually had like gotten to know each other better and had a fun date. Like, not every date has to be this classy, romantic, roses at the table and wine and fancy fiddle players. Like, I think it would be fun to like just go be vagabonds for a day.
I mean, that's fine that you think that, but I don't. I'm sorry. To be honest, dating me is a privilege, and I deserve to be treated on a date a lot better than I was.
Dating you is a privilege? I'm a fun, cool, creative guy who actually likes to do things with people in the city. I don't do just cookie-cutter dates with roses, man. Dating me is a privilege.
If that's your idea of a date, that's fine, but it's not mine.
I'm sorry that I'm not like your ex-boyfriend gym-owning, beefcake, no-brain, muscle-face rich people. I'm sorry I'm not just like your father and made of money, I'm a real person, and...
Excuse me, real people beg for money on a first date?
It's not begging for money. You keep saying that. It's trading for things and asking for things.
Well, you can
it's a
call
bigger
it
and better
you want
thing.
to call
It's an adventure.
If
you're not into an adventure, then I'm not into you.
Tommy.
Well, then that brings me to my next question. I was going to ask Tawny if she would like a second date with Tommy. I will pay for it. Tawny, will you go out with Tommy again, even though he just said he didn't want to see you?
Honestly, I think he needs to date somebody more his class, his league. It's just not me.
Tommy. Well, come on.
There you go,
That's
Tommy.
rude.
Hey, it's time to play in your own league, all right?
No.
Stay in your class, buddy.
All right, I'll stay in my own class because we have more fun and we do more fun things instead of, read Southern Living magazines and try to figure out what rich life is about.
I don't know how you're offended, Tommy. In the very beginning of this, you said you were attracted to her because you thought she was a rich girl.
He said that?
Well, you shouldn't be offended either, because it sounds like you're attracted to rich guys.
Yeah, but at least I'm upfront about it.
He said that he thought that you were out of his league because you're hot, and he said that he thought you might have a lot of money.
Well, I guess I am.
Adam is on the phone with us. He wants us to call a girl named Rin today for his second date update. They went out, met for coffee. He was 10 minutes late and ended up being very frustrated from a road rage incident that made him late. Feels like he just vented about the thing the whole time and was just angry and didn't even let her get a word in edgewise while they had their coffee date. Adam, you about ready to give her a call?
I'm ready, man.
All right, I was thinking about this. Most girls, when they list the traits that they like in a potential mate, they usually say something like, I like a guy who's sensitive, a guy who's caring, good job, very responsible. They usually don't list potential homicidal maniac as a good quality. So that's probably why she's not calling you back. I mean, if you went on a first date with somebody and they showed up a little late, first of all, that's one strike against you, and then proceeded to just be angry the whole time, I doubt you'd be so willing to call him back, too.
I mean, I think that's kind of the issue, and that's why I'm trying to make it work with her again, because I really do feel like I had a bad representation.
You want a do-over.
Yeah, I just want to try one more time. You know, I want to kind of show Ren the Adam that I really am.
Okay.
And you think this call is going to do it for you? You've got a level head on you right now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty zen right now.
Just don't make him wait any longer for the phone call. Don't make him late for the second date.
Yeah, can we just get this going so I don't get pissed off about it?
Okay. All right, I'm going to call it right now, man. Here we go.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Ren, please?
This is she.
Hey, Ren, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning, the radio program.
I'm sorry, I think you have the wrong number.
No, I'm pretty sure I have the right number, Ren. There's not a whole lot of Rens, and I was given your number by a guy named Adam to call you today.
What?
Yeah. Adam is a listener to our show, and he says he recently went out on a date with you, but you're not calling him back, and he asked us to see if we could get you on the phone and ask why.
How do you know him?
He listens to our radio show. Adam wanted us to call you to ask if he did something wrong on your date, or there's a particular reason that you don't want to see him again.
I don't even really know how to respond to this.
I know
Did
it's
he talk to you about this?
He did. He told us that you went out for coffee, and he said that he was a little late, and he actually feels bad because he thinks that he may have been a little upset from a traffic incident, and he wasn't very attentive to you on your date.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Is that a pretty accurate description?
Yeah, I would say so. I get this is what you guys do, so I don't mean to be disrespectful at all. I'm just kind of like,
no,
oh my God.
It's fine. I appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us. We just want to pass along a message to Adam and give him your perspective on the first date.
Yeah, I can talk about that. My experience with Adam was very limited, and I'm not a very confrontational person.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very, very angry, and I think that the first 10 minutes of the time that we very, very first were introduced to each other, it was really just all about this driving experience he had being so frustrated with this other person.
Was he like cussing and stuff when he was explaining it to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it was so over the top that I would have need to have left, because I would have done that if it was really, really that bad. If he was.
That's what I was going to ask you, Ren. I was going to ask you if at any point you were scared for your life.
Oh, gosh.
No, I wouldn't say that. It really wasn't like that, but it was pretty intense. Even when he finally went to go get us some coffee, which he did, finally pull himself up to be like, okay, I'm going to go get us some coffee. But
pulls himself together.
Even in that moment when he goes to order the coffee, I can hear him from all the way at the other end of the shop, and he's ordering, and he just sounds aggressive.
So was he like yelling at the barista and stuff like that? I'm just trying to.
I said grande!
I'm picturing him just tearing up this Starbucks or wherever you're at.
No, it really wasn't like that. It wasn't like he was unkind toward the people around him necessarily. It's just the manner in which he was dealing with things. It was just like pent up. When somebody's really upset about something, and even though they are doing something normal, it's in an abnormal way.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the other thing that was tough. It was manifesting in like sweat.
Oh.
He was so mad that he was sweating?
Well, I don't know if he just sweats, if that's a thing, independent of what was going on, but it seemed like it was fueled, or at least like made a lot worse by his emotional space.
Ren, it's called hyperhidrosis. It's just people who can't control their sweat glands. Okay, they sweat a ton. Maybe he has that.
How do you know this?
Yeah,
I've known some people who have had hyperhidrosis.
Yeah, quote, known some people.
So you don't want to see him again because he's angry, sweaty mess.
It's not just that he was sweating a lot and being angry. He was sweating profusely, like the palms of his hands. There was sweat dripping down him and then collecting, like under. I'm trying to think of the right way to say this. Like, man boobs, you know?
Oh.
Is Adam taking steroids?
Oh, gosh.
He sweated out his whole shirt?
Like dark, just covered in sweat.
Oh, man.
It stains, boob stains?
Yeah, that's bad. If he's pitting out a little bit, that's kind of like, whoa, man, you sweat a lot. But if he actually, his whole shirt was sweated out?
I don't think that's being...
That's what I was concerned about, because I know that when I'm upset, like, I'll sweat a little bit, and that's normal, but it was, whoa, it was so much.
I'd be curious to find out if it's an issue or if it's just his anger that makes him sweat like that. Aren't you curious to at least know?
Honestly, maybe he's a really great person that just had a really bad day, but I just don't want to deal with it.
Okay.
I really don't.
That's cool. Thank you for giving us an answer. I appreciate it. But I really need to find out about this sweat, and that's why I'm glad you're still on the phone, because Adam is also on the phone and heard everything you just said.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. I'm sorry.
Hi, Ren.
Oh, my God. First of all, I'm really, really sorry. Look, this is really, I'm sorry, and then I'm also, like, annoyed to be put in this situation. But I am sorry if you heard things that I said that are unflattering.
Oh, my God. You don't need to feel bad, Ren. Pretty much everything you said is true.
Oh, no.
I mean, I can kind of explain the sweating thing, the anger stuff. The sweating thing, let's start with that.
Point one.
So, I mean, I threw a hoodie and a coat on, and it ended up not being as cold out as I anticipated. By the time I was all pissed off at this guy in front of me, I started sweating in the car because I was blasting the heat, and I was so pissed off I wasn't thinking about it. The coffee shop had the heat on. I, couldn't stop sweating, and I knew I was, and I know that my man boobs were sweating.
Yeah, and that was a crappy thing for me to say about man boobs. That was rude. I'm sorry. That was just the first.
No,
it was
I
just
don't
the easiest.
care. That's what I think I want you to hear. It's like, I'm not that angry guy. I know I was sweaty. I know I was hot as and I thought if I didn't pay attention to it, you wouldn't mention it. Like, I was so lost in that date, and, I didn't know what to do, and I went home and showered right away. I was I was looking in the mirror, and I literally was mortified by myself because I was really excited about this date, and I never tell friends about going out with anybody, but for some reason I was kind of stoked on you, and I just crashed and burned, and I kind of do that a lot in life, and I just want you to know that I really am sorry. And as far as you and I are concerned, I'd love one more shot, just one more chance to maybe sweat it out with you and
sweat it out. Hey, Ren, would you like to go out with Adam again? I will pay for a second date. We can send you guys to a spin class or something where sweat is supposed to be there. And would you maybe give him another shot to see if he's not so flustered this time? He can do a better job.
Adam, I'm this is awkward, and I just want to say I appreciate you eventually being honest. I think that what I would have preferred is if you could have communicated this to me not on a radio station, because you did contact me and you didn't really ever just come out and say.
I totally get it, Ren. I mean, as crazy as I was there, it's probably crazier that I ended up on the radio with you right now. But I tried calling and texting you, and, you never got back to me. And so, I felt this was my last option of how I could get a hold of you.
Ren, will you do it? Will you go out with him one more time?
Come on, Ren.
Hannah is on the phone with us. She wants to call a guy named Eric. They met at church in a young adults mixer, went out to a concert, and then after the concert, there was an awkward moment where he dropped her off, walked her to her door. And she was putting out the signals that she wanted to kiss. Her signal was she dropped her keys in order to kill time in hopes that he would pick them up and then maybe kiss her. Instead, he picked them up and gave them to her and said, "Here's your keys. Have a good night." And she hasn't heard from him since, so we're about to get him on the phone. Hannah, I think the problem was that your signal to him was a little weak. I think next time, instead of dropping the keys, you just drop the pants. No question there.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, but there's no question.
Oh, wow.
No? Yeah. You want to try that out?
Oh, my God.
No.
See, I wish women would be a little more blunt like that. And then I would be like, oh, okay, cool. She wants to kiss.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I'm about to dial the phone number and get him on the phone and see what the reason is that he's not calling you back.
Okay, thanks. I'm excited.
and nervous.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Eric, please?
This is Eric.
Hey, Eric, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning, the radio show.
Radio? Okay.
All right, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay. The reason that I'm calling you, though, is we do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. That's where if somebody goes out on a date with someone and then they feel like they're getting blown off after the date, they email us to call that person and ask them why. You recently went out with a girl named Hannah who listens to our show.
Oh.
And Hannah is wondering why you haven't called her or texted her and asked her to go out again.
Okay.
Did you like Hannah?
Yeah, Hannah was fine.
Okay.
Fine.
Do you have a few minutes to tell us why you're not texting her back?
Well, we hung out for about 3 hours at a concert, and I guess I just didn't really know what to say.
Like you didn't know what to say, like it was awkward for you to be on the date, or
Well, for me, she was hard to have a conversation with.
Was she like intimidating or something because she was real pretty?
No. She just said a few things where I said to myself, I was like, I don't think I could see myself having a relationship with this person.
What type of things are we talking?
She just had a lot of her facts wrong.
Her facts about what?
Just like pretty basic stuff.
Can you give me an example?
I mean, for one thing, at one point, she said she thought Islam was a country.
Okay.
All right. That's fun.
Not
a
a
mistake.
religion, okay.
Yep.
All right.
We also were talking about, like, crazy things that we've eaten at restaurants, and I said, like, well, this is pretty common, but I've had duck.
Yeah.
And she was like, duck. Now, would you consider that a meat or a fish?
Come on.
Really? She said that?
Yeah.
All right. I kind of get what you're saying then. So you don't necessarily feel like she's not as smart as you, but you feel like she might be kind of an airhead a little bit.
Well, it's just like, yeah, I mean, there are different types of intelligence, and I just feel like she lacks a sort of basic factual level of knowledge.
Is there any way that she could have just been playing it up and doing the, because some girls do the bimbo thing because they think guys think it's cute.
Oh, yeah.
You could tell it wasn't like she was planning these things. Like at one point we were talking about something and she goes, I think comedy is so funny.
Obviously.
Yeah?
It's like, yeah, that's what comedy's job is.
I like that. Eric, you and I are a lot different because I got out with her, I've been like, perfect. You're right on my level. But
Funny things are funny.
Yeah,
You're
comedy is a funny thing sometimes. So you just feel like she wasn't on your level then.
Basically, most of the date, I just was sitting there going like, I don't want to be this guy who just spends the whole time correcting her because it just makes me seem like an arrogant kind of know-it-all. And if I had spent my time correcting her, then our conversation would have gone almost nowhere because I would have had to do it like every minute or so. So I just don't think we ever really need to talk again.
Really? That's a shame because she's actually on the phone and wants to talk to you.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am.
So, I'm kind of confused. I mean, it sounds like,
Yeah, we know.
that because I wasn't perfect or didn't know all of the same things that you do quite as well, that you are saying that I'm stupid? Is that what I heard?
I did not once say that you are stupid.
No, you didn't actually say those words, but because I'm not stupid, it certainly sounded like you were saying that I was.
I don't think that you're stupid.
I think you do.
No, I don't. I don't think you're stupid. I think that for the kinds of things that I usually like to talk about and the issues that the things that I was kind of putting out there to see what you would say, it wasn't really working out.
I may not be as smart,
in certain areas, but I have street smarts, and I think I'm pretty bright. I mean, okay, for example, I was right. Comedy is funny.
It is.
And tragedies are sad.
She has a point, Eric. She was right.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're not wrong about that. But I think that, if you don't get why that's kind of a weird thing to say, then I think that is kind of the issue right
here. It's true.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But also, we don't need to talk about how water is wet,
Maybe we do.
Then, see, if you think that, then that's fine, but I am so not interested in talking about that.
Wow.
I think you're being kind of picky, Eric. I mean, yeah, she gets some facts wrong, and she doesn't really, maybe be book smart, but she sounds like a delightful person.
Can I just point out something? I thought, if you had fun with someone or you enjoyed them, and, if the person was extremely attractive, that was kind of, important, too. And I was willing to I was going to just sort of ignore that part.
See that look?
Whoa.
Eric, do you think that you can ignore her not being on your level intelligence-wise if Hannah ignores the fact that you're not on her level hot-wise? Is what she's saying, I think.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
Oh, my God.
I guess that brings me to my next point then. Would you guys like to go out on a second date? Eric, would you like to go out with Hannah again? I will pay for it. She'll ignore the fact that you're not as good looking as she is.
No, I wouldn't.
Come on, opposites attract.
So you don't even want to go out with me again? I mean, I kind of was being really nice to you still, despite everything you were saying about me. I'm sort of shocked that you don't want to try to make it up to me, You weren't very nice.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but that's the way
so what do we do now? I see you, at one of the church events, and I see you and I go, hey, there's the guy that thinks I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I guess. And then I'll be like, hey, there's the girl who thinks I'm ugly.
Look at that. It actually is a perfect second date update. It worked out for both you guys. Now we're all on the same page. That is amazing how that actually worked out for them like that. Text in at 78592 says, I'll date her. She's right on my level.
At least people know where they are, right?
It's true. I mean, I guess you can't blame him too much if he just didn't feel like they connected on the intelligence level. I mean, if you go out with somebody you feel like they're not as smart as you, maybe you don't want to go out with them again. Personally, I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, I look for that.
Yeah. It's the first thing I look for.
It's hard for Jose to find, though. Someone below his smarts level.
True.
Remember, if you want a second date update, all you have to do is email the show.